Hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to Northeast today's live session with me, Devoshri Adhikari. Today, for our live session, we have somebody very special with us. He is one of the greatest Indian football players of all time. We have with us Gouramangi Singh Moirangthem, who is a former Indian football professional and is currently assistant coach of I-League Bengaluru United. He has made a total of 71 appearances for the Indian national team over the course of his playing career, and we'll get to know all about him and his journey today in our live session. So let's give him a very warm welcome.
Hi.
Good evening, sir. Welcome to Northeast today's live session. We are so pleased to have you here. Thank you for joining and for taking your time out. There have been we know you have a very busy schedule, and despite that, you took your time out for this session. So thank you very much. We really appreciate it. And before we begin, we actually do this thing in our Northeast today's session. We have this tradition of making a introductory video on our guests, so that our guests, whoever is watching, they get a gist of our guests. So would you like to watch that first, and then we can go ahead with the question and answers?
Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Let's watch the video.
Gouramangi Singh Moirangthem is a former Indian professional footballer who is currently assistant coach of I-League Second Division side Bengaluru United. He made 71 appearances for the Indian national team over the course of his playing career and is currently the first team coach of I-League Second Division side Bengaluru United. Gouramangi is one of the most decorated players in Indian football in recent times, having won the National Football League, Federation Cup and I-League titles, along with the AIFF Player of the Year award in 2010. He was also a part of India's triumphant Nehru Cup campaigns in 2007 and 2009 and the AFC Asian Cup in 2011, where he scored on the team's opener against Bahrain. Bengaluru United has opted a pioneering approach in creating a pathway for first-time players to become trainers by enabling them to take up coaching responsibilities in the youth setup. The former captain announced his retirement from professional football after Nehru Cup in the 2017 and 18 session.
So that was like, you have had such a wonderful journey in football, and so nice to see someone from Northeast, doing so well in the national and international platform, and doing well in the sports field, football. So how, before we start up, I personally really wanted to know, did you play football growing up, and was this something you always wanted to do?
Before I
So I think we are not being able to hear you. I think, yeah. So could you try again? You need to unmute. There is an option for, so you can check it below. Yes, sir. There will be
Can
an
you hear me
option
now?
below. Yes, sir. I can hear you. You were saying. Please continue. Yeah.
Okay. Before I answer to your question, thank you very much for having me here today, and also thanks for that lovely small video. I mean, it sort of remind me in all these years that
Yeah.
yes, I did started playing from the very early age, and it was probably the best thing that or the best decision that I made while growing up, because I always wanted to
Yeah.
play football, and I've started early, and yeah, eventually I made it, to the best that I could be. So
Hmm.
I really enjoyed it.
And like, growing up, would you say like who were the players you were looking for, up to? Because there are always people we look up to when we want to do a certain thing. They motivate us in a certain way. So were there any people like that? Any footballers like that?
Not any particular names, I would say, but I grown up in early 20s. I joined Tata Football Academy in the year 2000, and if I look back,
Hmm.
even the English Premier League was very much getting into the Indian television, and
Hmm.
also even when I was in school, I just did my class 10 when I before I joined Tata Football Academy. So I used to follow in newspapers on the sport
Yeah.
column, and also what in the best whatever I could. I always try to follow what's happening even in Indian football circuit, and also what's happening in the world football. So
Hmm.
growing up, I used to follow that generation, those like David Beckham, the
Yeah.
Brazilian Ronaldo, Raul, Figo,
Hmm.
Maldini. So I grown up on that era, watching all those top guys, and also like someone like in India, because we do have like Baichung Bhai. Even when I was in school, I used to follow because then there was not too many live telecasts on television, so I only get to follow them either through newspapers. So whenever I
Yeah.
get time,
Yeah.
and I go to the school library, I always try to catch up on the sports section and what's happening in the football. So not
Yeah.
any particular names, but I think all these names, because growing up
Hmm.
in a generation following these all these big boys. So yeah, that's how I grown up following these names, even
Yeah.
in India, and also in the world football.
And how it's must be so surreal to see there are so many young players looking up to you now in so many parts of India, and wanting to do better under your coachmanship. So that's also really nice and something to be amazed about. And like I said, like somebody from the Northeast doing so well always feels really good to see. And so coming to my next question, like when did you decide to take up football up professionally, and were there any challenges in the beginning of your career?
Uh, I started as I mentioned earlier, that I started playing very early. But at the same time, while you're growing up, you don't know that you going to take football as your career, or are you going to pursue football as a career, or so. But as you grow, as you continue playing, uh, you wanted to you started figuring out that, and I sort of figure out that I really wanted to pursue and try my best if I can make it to the highest level.
Yeah.
So fortunately, I got selected to Tata Football Academy in the year 2000, and since then, then I never looked back. So early 2000, even before that, I started playing for my school, for my town, for my community, even represented my district. But the serious football started when I joined Tata Football Academy. So my journey began after I joined Tata Football Academy.
All
But
right.
again, it was never easy. It
Hmm.
was never easy because yes, you will always have difficulty making it to the top. But I I
Yeah,
put
of
up the
course.
best I could, and
Yes, and also, like, if I'm not wrong, you have played with so many different clubs. You were also a part of the Churchill Club, so there were so many. You have had so much of ton of experience, and now you're teaching this young people. So towards the end of this session, would I also like to know a message from you that you have for aspiring players. But before that, we actually have some pictures from your we have collected those from your social media profile, and I'd like to show those. And if you could tell us the story behind those pictures. So I'd like to request our technical team to show this picture that you have on the field. Like, so could you tell us about what was which match was this, where was like when which game was this, And when was it?
Uh, this was in Delhi. This was the farewell match for Baichung Bhutia. This was in
Okay.
Delhi, Ambedkar. No, this was in Delhi Nehru Stadium. So we were playing against the Bayern Munich first team. So yeah, it was a great experience, and I think also again it was a very significant, memorable evening because Baichung Bhutia, who is one of the iconic figure in the
Right,
sport.
right, exactly. He's
Uh,
a legend.
and because he was retiring and he was hanging up his boot. So I think
Hmm.
I would say I was fortunate to be part of that evening. Sending him off because he has done so much for Indian football and also representing the country for so many years. Inspired so many people, including myself. So just
Hmm.
be there of his final day as a player. So yeah, it was it was a great evening that we had, all of us.
Okay. And so, like, my next question would be for you was like, what do you think about the current football scene in our country? Like, where
It's
is it
definitely
going?
getting better. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely better. We're on the right direction, that I would say,
Hmm. Hmm.
because like when we have the Indian Super League, we have I League, even the national team is uh, doing quite okay, quite well, I would say, in the last couple of years. So I think we're on the
Hmm.
right direction. So if you see in the grassroots level, so many children are taking up the game, starting the game in schools, uh, and so I think that's a good sign that people are showing keen interest even to start playing the game at a very early age, and also the corporate coming in, that, and also even the parents are realizing that even football, they can consider or even pursue football as a career if you have the talent and if you have the will, you have the dedication to do it, to go all the way.
Right.
Uh, it's an option. So I'm just happy that it's definitely stepping up in a good direction.
And so, like you just mentioned that parents, most parents are starting to take it seriously, and young people are now very serious about taking up football professionally. So, what, according to you, does it require for one person to be, as successful as you are today in the field of football? Would you say, like, what are the qualities, rather?
Well, because as you started playing football, maybe at the school level or community level, if you have the talent, definitely I think it's an introduction uh, to the football world and the scout, because you will have scout, you'll have senior players, you have coaches, even at every level. They will start because they will start noticing you. If you have the talent, you have the skill, they will notice you. So I think that's a big step. After that, it's all about, because the talent will take you to a certain level, right? So talent is only the talent and skill is not enough for you to make it to the highest level. So at least you have the talent, because not everyone can play the sports, not everyone can play football or boxing, so any other sport. So I would say that you should consider yourself lucky and also fortunate that you possess that skill and talent. So having that, I think, is a big advantage. Once you have that, and also you get noticed by the scout, by the coaches. After that, it's all about how far you want to go. Whether are you ready to go out all the way? Because it's going to need a lot of dedication. It's going to need a lot of sacrifices. You need to be very sure of what you want, and how far you want to go. So, are you ready to go all the way out, all the way along? So, eventually, it's all about how much you want, how far you want to go. So, talent, yes, not everyone has talent and the skill. So, you have the talent, that's an advantage. So once you have the advantage, I would advise that that's what I'm trying to do wherever I go, and when I get the opportunity to speak to the children, that don't take it for granted, because you have the talent. Try to make sure that make the best out of it, because not everyone have the skill and the talent. So if you have it, just try to make the best out of it. Don't just take it for granted.
Okay, that's a very important message, I think, for anybody who's watching and would want to take this professionally, and it's very serious about football. And so, but and you have been like on both sides of the field. You have played football. You have won several trophies, and you were also if the AIFF Player of the Year 2010, and then you are coaching people, coaching young players now. Like, which would you say you enjoy more, coaching or playing?
Uh, I would say that I enjoy both equally. Okay, I enjoy both equally, either as a player or either as a coaching. But if I have to choose one, then I would choose playing because for a simple reason. Because when you're playing, because you only think about
Yeah.
yourself, and and also for you being again very much into keeping yourself fit and into fitness. It was easy because you are playing, and it's part of a job to keep yourself fit and maintain your the fitness. So I don't have to really think about it because it's part of my job to stay fit and to do well as part of my job. So I don't have to really think about fitness. But now as a coach, like I said again, I cannot choose what I enjoy, but I will choose playing
Play.
is because now as a coach, I have to think about so many things. I have to prepare. I have to think about everyone, about the team. But at the same time, also I have to find out some time for myself to keep myself fit. So at times I find it hard. So that's a little, I would say, drawback. You know, you have to make time out of for yourself.
And so, if I'm not wrong, you started as the head coach of Bangalore United in the year 2019, if I'm not wrong. And what would you say? Were the major challenges that you faced as a coach, and how did you manage them for the whole team? Like since you began.
I think the challenges might be different from all the coaches to coaches or the teams to teams because every team has a different challenges to tackle. So, but I think it's the same for all the coaches because let's say we have to have a plan, and when I put up the structure. So as a coach, there's a three very important things. I think we say it as a pillar of strength of the team is when we do the planning, we have like the recruitment, we have like the coaching, the recruitment, and the management. So these three pillars that form the foundation of the coaching. So so like so we have to very much we need to know that what's happening, right? So when we do the recruitment, looking for the players to recruit for our team, so we need to be sure of, like who are the players available and who should we bring in, or which we leave out. So all those are the challenges. That is what, before we assemble a team, we need to be very sure about that. Then I think it's like a coaching part. So coaching, we have to see that how probably we have a plan for today, but we have to also reflect on how the boys are responding to it, or how the boys are reflecting. Uh, and also how the management. So we need to be sure about that, doing the communication between, again, the management, what are they expecting, and so there's a lot of day-to-day operation as well, and also we have the short-term, mid-term, the long-term plan. So like I said again, playing was much easy because you're only thinking about yourself and trying to bring best of yourself
Right.
as a coach. Now, so you have to do all hell of planning now. So it's a different thing. It's a completely different job profile. But like I said again, it's a closest I could stay. I can stay after playing to be part of the team, to be part of the dressing room. So I enjoyed it. These are the challenges, but I love it. There's the process itself. Like I said again, about the planning,
Right.
of the recruitment, about the coaching, planning about day to day. Are we coordinating between, like, what are the missions we need to go out with the proposals to the management? That is what we are lacking. This is what we need more for the team and all those stuff. So those are the challenges. I think that those are the foundations. Probably, I think every team faces those problems, but there might be other issues that they will keep coming up as we go forward. So, but yeah, I enjoy the whole all the process itself.
And so, like, how would you say your experience as a coach has been so far?
Yeah, I think I have answered. I mean, I just mentioned to you also where I enjoy every bit of it so far. I really love it. I enjoy it because uh, the last 20, 21 years, what I have done is just playing football. And like I said again, I love getting up in the morning, go out to the beach, and just be around with the boys, being part of the group. Uh, that is what I love doing it, and that's so. After even I hung my boot, that's the closest I could stay. It's being a coach, being around with the team, being part of the making decisions. Uh, that's the closest I can be with the team. So I enjoy every bit of it. It's not very. It's fun. I would say I love all the challenges coming. So it's fun.
Okay, and so like, how do you often we see in our country especially that athletes receive a lot of criticism, when the match doesn't go in our favor, or we lose or something. Some in game you can't always win, like when everybody knows that. But so how do you take this criticism in a positive way as an athlete?
Uh, yeah, I think as over time you learn to take the criticisms because it's also, I think, at times it's also equally important. But sometimes I think you cannot take it too hard. But you need to understand it as well. It's part of your job, because tomorrow if you play well, definitely there will be some people come up to you and said, "Oh, you played very well." Tomorrow when I don't perform, they will say, "Oh, you didn't perform with the mark or up to your standard." So when people come with some negative comments, you feel bad about it. You feel or you get disappointed. But the thing is, like, you learn to live with that because you can't take it too hard, but important as a player, as a professional. I think we as a professional, we do know that what's my weakness and what's my strength. So I know if I didn't perform well, then I also know that today wasn't my best day and I didn't do well. So I'm ready to take those criticisms, and I don't take it too hard because I know that what are the areas that why it didn't work for me. So I know where to fix it. So by hopefully by the next week again, so I work on that. That's the areas I need to be sure about it, that I shouldn't be repeating the same mistake that I did in the last game. So that's how I said again, we have a process. Yeah, I know where the areas where for me to work. So like I said again, I think over time we learn to live with those decisions because it's
Right,
part of
right.
our job.
Also, yes, more on football. I'd like to know this. Like, football is a great participatory sport in India, but doesn't always, gain this many as much players as it does in other sport in India, like cricket, for example. So, what do you think needs to be done, to increase football's interest in our country as compared to, like, we can see abroad, it's much higher the fan base as compared to in India. So, what do you think needs to be done about that?
I think we need to put up a structure, which something that I keep even trying at in my community level, because the community needs to be involved, the parents need to be involved. Like I said, the importance of community, because you talk about abroad, like we talk about some of the very advanced footballing countries. So let's say an example of England, for example. So the community, like they have this community, league, they have this Sunday league, they have this amateur league. So like they have this county league. So what I'm saying is, like, so every community has to have, they have to have a team. So where the community get involved, it doesn't have to be professional team. It can be amateur, it can be semi-amateur, it can be semi-professionals. That's how when the community is involved, that's how you build a fan base. So it can't be a very artificially created fan base. It has to be, the community. So they have to have some belongingness. They have to have some likeness of, or then why do they support the team? Because if it's a community, so tomorrow, so for example, I'm from Manipur, or you're from Assam, you're from Guwahati. So every
Right.
locality have a team. So you start, because I will not go and support the team from Guwahati. I will support the team where I come from, for example, to start with as a young boy. So parents needs to be involved. Everyone in the community needs to get involved, and it doesn't have to be always a professional team. It can be a team like it's a sports teams where the locality, the community get involved and support. So that's how the structure, even some of the top, like I said again, the footballing country in Europe, for example, in England or in Germany, or that's how it builds. So we need to create that structure, which is not yet, because we as a country, as in India, we are not a very sporting country. But until and unless the community is involved and put up the structure, we will still find that gap between in between. Like, why do we have or we don't we have this debate? Will continue.
And okay, so for our next question, I would like to ask you about this photo that we just saw on the screen. I'd like our technical team to, yeah, this photo, so with Sunil Chetri that you have. Like, could you tell us about this? Like, what the background, what was happening here?
I think I'm just trying to recollect this photo. This was
Okay.
the AFC Challenge Cup in Delhi, the final. So we won the cup against the Tajikistan. I remember that we won. The score was 4-1, and because of we won this AFC Challenge Cup, we get qualification to play the AFC Asian Cup in Doha in 2011. So it was one of the very important evening for the Indian football, because we got to qualify the AFC Asian Cup 2011 after 23 years. I think that 23 or 27 years. So it was a great night for all of us, and yeah, very memorable. And yeah, I think the
Okay.
cup.
And so, while talking about such a great football match that you just told us about, could you tell us about like the best experience you have had in the field while playing? Also, while coaching, you have experiencing the players you have trained.
Yeah. I think it's to pick up one just incident or just moment will be hard, because I had such a long career playing so many matches, memorable matches, like including this one that the Super where it was a final match where we won 4-1, and that makes us qualified to play in the AFC Asian Cup, and also many memorable matches where so many final matches, and Nehru Cup final matches, and also winning the league, winning the league in a couple of occasions. For many occasions. So I think just to pick up one will be very hard. But all those memories are something that I will cherish for the rest of my life. But as a coach, if I have to mention them, not in particular, but as a coach, because of a certain plan, and you work through through the week, day out, and like, on a match day, when you see that the boys are playing according to your plan, you work on a certain phase. For example, you work on a defensive phase, and you have a certain
Right.
plan, and you see that boys are receptive about it, and you see that the boys are responding to plan, and they're playing according to how you want. I think that's a great feeling that you have, or like during the match or even after the match. Yes, result is very important, because we all play to win or win the match. But when you see that your process or your plan is working, it's, the boys are responding, or playing the way how you want to. That's it's that's the couple of years that I've been involved in coaching, and when I see the boys are responding to your plan, it's a great feeling that you feel like, wow, it's working, it's going well.
Wow. And also, my next question, we are just really curious to see this one photo on the screen. I wanted to ask about it, and I would like to request our team to show that picture on the screen. Yeah, so could you tell us about this match and when and where it was, and about the background a little bit?
Oh, this is again the same. I think the first photo we have shared here, where this was again from the Baichung Bai.
Okay, this was
No,
okay.
this
I
is the
think
same.
I was talking about it. Okay, I was okay. So I was actually talking about a different picture of you playing in the field. I think they have confused it. Anyway, so for my next, yes, about this one. Could you tell us about this picture?
This was one of the friendly matches that that in in Thailand. It's one of the Thailand club, and we as a Neroka team went to Thailand to play a friendly match. So it is from that match.
Okay. And so, as a coach, like I really wanted to know this, and I'm pretty sure many people out there would be who are watching would like to know this. Like, how what's the most valuable lesson that when you were up and coming player, you just started playing professionally. What was something that your coach taught you that you still remember to this day?
It's there's no substitute to hard work, uh,
Hmm.
and probably uh, you know that is probably one of the I won't say mantra, but
Hmm.
there's no substitute. I said again, even I mentioned about your talent or your skill can take you to a certain level or certain
Hmm.
height. Then it's all about hard work and recognizing your strength and weaknesses, and just keep on going. And it's all about your how much you want to go, how far you want to go. So it's all about keep reflecting or keep self-examining yourself about your performance, about areas that you can get better. So it's about hard work, yes, number one. Then after that, keep reflecting on your performance, keep reflecting on areas where you are lacking or areas that you need to work to get better. So I think so that is something that I got to learn from the very early age when I was in academy. Coaches keep us, they keep us telling that this is the only way for you to survive. So
Hmm.
yeah, I think no substitution for hard work.
Okay, and so like you won the Nehru Cup, you and your team in 2007 and 9, and the SAFF Cup in 2005 and 11. So could you tell us about those trophies a bit, and which match led to all of that, and how did you prepare for all of that, those um, cups?
I mean, it's a couple of, like, as you mentioned, the league that we won. Sometimes, you know, like we say in football, that there's no guarantee that even if you have when you have the best team in the league, there's no guarantee that you are going to win the league because
Right.
there's so many dynamic plays,
Hmm.
to be a successful team. So for that, I think I would say that I was very fortunate to be part of those teams who have won so much, the cup and trophy, because to be part of the team and also part of the group, those individuals, some brilliant players, great individuals on the
Hmm.
pitch, off the pitch as a person. So I think we all come to be in that place and ready to go. Sort of that we have the mutual respect, ready to go fight for each other, play for each other, looking out for each other, in the difficult moments. It's not about just
Right.
winning matches. Like I said, so many dynamic plays. So yes, we had a good team, and that good team becomes a great team. Winning that number of cups and trophies, in a few years' time. So eventually, that's how I said I keep saying even to the boys today that the only way for you to win some respect or earn some respect from your teammates or for your coaches or opponents is by winning matches, by winning or by you need to beat them, you need to win against them because this is sports and it's all about winning, right? So once you win, then that's how you earn respect from your football fans, from your coaches, from your opponents. So uh, like I said again, those preparations, yes, you have to do, you have to work hard, you have to, it's everything, all the process you have to follow. But if the team doesn't come together, not ready to fight for each other, then chances of winning becomes less. So for us, I think to be part of the team, to be part of the group, ready to go all the way, and at least to win those, those trophies and also leagues in a couple of occasions. That was I think it was a great moment. Those
Okay.
are great.
And so, like, we just saw a picture of yours with Mr. Kiran Rijiju, the Law Minister of India, on the screen. I'd like to request our team to play show that picture once again. Like, could you tell us about the about what was happening here? And we see some really reputable people in this picture. So, what was happening here, sir?
Oh, this was again because India,
Yeah.
was bidding for the AFC to host the AFC 2027. So this event was in Delhi,
Okay.
and the so since Mr. Praful Patel is the president of the Football Federation, and
Right.
also Mr. Rijiju was the sport
Was our
minister then.
response? Yeah.
Was the sport minister then. So all of us are there, and just launching the logo, and also like officially, kind of announcing to the world that we are going to at least put a proposal to host the willingness or our intent to host the 2027 Asian Cup, which is the biggest tournament, in the continent. So yeah, I think it's good sometimes to not just about playing football on the pitch or coaching pitch, but off the pitch, just to go and just be part of this event. And also, it's a list that I could do. I mean, after playing football for so many years, being part of the national team, being part of the national setup, and whenever such occasions comes up, and that I get the invitation from the federation just to be part of the launch. Yeah, it was good.
Okay, so it was like before we wrap this up, I would really like to know what message, like you mentioned what you tell your players, before every match and how you motivate them. But also, what would be your message to all up and coming players and to anybody who's watching us?
Uh, I think my message will be for all the aspiring young, whoever's watching today, like anyone who is aspired to become a football player or any sport person. Uh, I think one thing is not necessary that my like simple message now here is don't take it for granted. If you like I said again, you have the skill and talent, and coaches or senior players in your locality or in your community notice that, and if they sort of come to you and tell you that you have the skill and talent, and also you enjoy doing it, you enjoy playing football in particular today, which is since I come from football. I think it's like when you're in school, like the art teachers used to say that you don't know when the opportunity will come knocking your door, right? But
Right.
having that skill and talent is already, I think, it's an opportunity already. You have, and now the thing is like how much you want to make, use of it, and that is now you have the skill, talent, but it's hard for me also, even someone like at the 14, 15 years to realize that you have such a skill and talent. The question is now, are you going to just how much are you going to take it seriously and try to make a career out of it? So, are you ready to go all the way? So, my only advice to all aspiring young boys and girls like who have skill and talent, that don't take it for granted. I think it's a very special talent and skill. So, but that skill and talent is not just enough for you to make it to the next level.
Okay.
The next
And
level, the next level is all about you to give everything, and you're mentally how much are you ready to go all the way. So it will take a lot of sacrifices, because playing sports is something I keep saying it's a best job because you're going to do something you love doing it. So many of my friends who are working in a different company or in a different profession, they're in a job, but seems like they are forced to be there. They don't enjoy doing it, but they are
exactly.
doing it.
Yeah.
They are doing it because today, because because it pays their bill at the end of the month. They don't like doing it, but they are forced to do it. But here, you like playing the sports, so don't I think that's a great opportunity for you to even see that if you can make it to the next level. So my message is that don't take it for granted. Yeah.
That was a beautiful message, sir, and I hope anybody watching out there takes us seriously and takes sports seriously, and does everything, follows your steps, and and we have so many up and coming, so many emerging, athletes from Northeast. Like this year in Olympics, we saw Sunil Chetri doing so well, Lovelina Borgohain, Mirabai Chanu. We have MC Maricom. Like all of these people are doing so well in their fields. And right now, like the advice you gave was so amazing. And I hope anybody out there watching takes it seriously. And so once again, thank you so much for attending our today's session. It was wonderful having you, and an honor. And we'd love to have you again if given the opportunity. And have a great evening. So thank you for attending Northeast today's live session.
Thank you so much.
Gouramangi Singh Moirangthem is a former Indian professional footballer who is currently assistant coach of I-League Second Division side Bengaluru United. He made 71 appearances for the Indian national team over the course of his playing career and is currently the first team coach of I-League Second Division side Bengaluru United. Gouramangi is one of the most decorated players in Indian football in recent times, having won the National Football League, Federation Cup and I-League titles, along with the AIFF Player of the Year award in 2010. He was also a part of India's triumphant Nehru Cup campaigns in 2007 and 2009 and the AFC Asian Cup in 2011, where he scored on the team's opener against Bahrain. Bengaluru United has opted a pioneering approach in creating a pathway for first-time players to become trainers by enabling them to take up coaching responsibilities in the youth setup. The former captain announced his retirement from professional football after Nehru Cup in the 2017 and 18 session.